How is everybody tonight? I'm on a mission to improve my life by 2 millimeters each and every Monday, and I want to do that with you. The music in the background I created during the week, and it's kind of inspired me to get a few things together and playing the drums and the piano, and I just sort of thought, why not? Just why not? So that's what you can hear in the background. The election, Trump or Harris, who's it going to be? I've got my views. And is it going to impact the market, positive or negative, as in the property market? Because I need to talk about real estate every now and then, don't I? Is it going to affect the interest rates? How about the policies that Trump has? How about the policies that Harris has around housing, and whether the housing market in Australia is going to be infected in some way? Yeah, absolutely. Because whoever gets in, it will have an impact in some way, shape or form, but it's going to be interesting to see what that's going to be like for everybody. But the question of the week, I was pondering on last week's topic. And last week's topic was, if you give people enough time, they'll reveal themselves. And that's certainly true of so many things in life, isn't it? So let me know in the comments below what you think of the music, what your thoughts are on that, whether it resonated with you, whether you like it, or thumbs down or thumbs up. That would be appreciated. It's just finishing now. Almost. I've got another 30 seconds to go. But the question of the week is, how did you like to spend your time as a child? Mum and Dad, there we go. All right. I like that little end bit. Anyway, the question of the week was, how did you like your childhood, and what did you spend your time doing with your childhood? And I asked my mum and dad, because I always get inspired by mum and dad. Hi, Ash, how are you? Nice to see you on the line. Hi, Brendan. Hi, Alexia. How are you? I bought you something today, Alexia, so that will be lots of fun to open that package tomorrow. But I'm getting off topic. I've been told to stay on topic with everybody, so I will do that. The question of the week was, how did you like to spend your time as a child? Now, we know how Harris and Trump like to spend their childhood, because they've been very open about what they've done. But my dad, as I said, get inspired by my mum and dad. And Dad used to like to take his lassie collie, which was called Prince, down to Carrs Park. We spent a lot of time down there in Carrs Park. And he also used to go swimming at Carrs Park. Very, very good swimmer. He swam with Shane Gould. Just a big shout out to Shane Gould if you are watching. You never know, she may be. And Dad said that his uncle, Warren Scarf, who was also an Olympian velodrome bike rider, whatever the technical term is, somebody may be able to put in the comments below about that. But it was renovated by his dad, he believes, and with a bit of help from Uncle Warren Scarf, and he enjoyed riding his bike. Mum said that she had a lot of fun in her childhood down in Cowra. She used to do a lot of exploring up in the hills and making daisy chains, which she showed us how to make daisy chains too. And I remember that vividly as a kid at different times, because, you'd have lots of what people thought were weeds in the grass, but they make you so much happier when you just look for that 4-leaf clover, or you look for the ones that make the daisy chain, a little flower with a white flower, and you put a split in the stem, and then away you go, and before you know it, you've got a daisy chain, and you can wear the crown with pride. Mum said that she used to play with a dog, Terry, which was a little Pomeranian, and he's a beautiful little thing from the photos that I've seen. And it's probably a pretty simple life in the country, but it was always a really happy life. And she said that brothers of families would come over for a dinner every now and then, a bit of football, shuttlecock, those sorts of things. And the boys would ride the bike at Christmas time if they got one of those. And she had a lane next to her when she was there, and they like hand-me-down bikes, but they're all done up as Dad's bike was as well. That's, you know, not spray paint them, I suppose, paint them by hand and those sorts of things. Put in the comments below what you did as a kid and what you enjoyed doing. Mum and her parents worked really hard to buy their first house, and it was a lot of hard work there, and she had a budgie. And I remember we had a budgie as well as a young one, so that was really good. And Mum always had a dog and the budgie, and good fun to chat to, try and make them talk. I don't know whether anybody else had a budgie. I think ours was called Billy, wasn't it, Mum? You might want to pop in the comments below whether I got that right or not. But Mum also said, I don't know whether I can say this out loud, but I'm going to say it anyway, because I'm sure everybody else has had this experience, and I can remember doing something similar. I can't confirm nor deny, but Mum said when she mowed the lawns for her dad and washed the car and did it all the right way, she may or may not have gone for a drive around the block if all went well. And I can remember him, my grandfather, sitting me on his lap in Penshurst, I think it was, and there was like these streets that would go up and down, and you know, it was really close to home, and I think everybody used to do it. So yeah, Leslie's saying, as a kid I loved to do magic, loved the Sesame Street, especially the Elmo. I love Elmo. I love some of his skits, especially those guys that are on TikTok at the moment. Even more fun. Hey Drew, how are you? Loving all of your comments as well. Ashley's saying she had a budgie named Bluey because he was blue. Yeah, absolutely. And we had a blue budgie as well. It was either blue or yellow or green, wasn't it? Hey, Sandra, nice to have you on the line. So, you know, and I loved being outside as a kid. I'm not too sure what you did, but we lived on acreage, or were fortunate to live on acreage at Kenthurst. Now, Kenthurst at that time, it was sort of like you have to pack your lunch and go for a drive to visit people at Kenthurst. It was such a long way away. We didn't have the travels and easy things to get around that you do now, and the M2 and the M4s, and it was so much more accessible. Loved all the animals on the farm, you know, the chooks, the ducks, the birds, the horse, the goats, mending fences to keep them all in. And Mum used to encourage us. We used to have gardens. Mum was great in the garden and always has been. She's got a beautiful garden at home, and Dad helps her around the house as well. And she's always had, I think, botanical gardens, and they both keep a beautiful home as well. And she inspired me to plant different plants, and I think calendulas were the little orange ones that you have, and I was always sort of trying to grow these on probably rock and a little bit of dirt, maybe a bit of sand. Wasn't the best at it, but you know, there was always so much joy when that flower opened up, or the Christmas bush that we had growing that I'd sell on the side of the street at Penshurst. That was always fun. And one of my favourite things too was laying out on the paddock, just laying on my back, looking up at the stars and the planets that you could clearly see, because there wasn't much light pollution at Kenthurst at that point. And just identifying all the different satellites, because there were certain days and times that you could stand out or sit out or lie out in the paddock and just see them clearly as they went across the sky. And that, you know, it was just in an orbit around the Earth, so you could pick it quite clearly. And that's what I used to love doing as a kid. And pop in the comments below what you used to love doing as a kid. And with Melbourne Cup this week, the quote of the week, and while some people like Melbourne Cup, some people don't like Melbourne Cup for different reasons, and I can respect either camp that you may be in. But the quote that I came up was, winning isn't everything, but wanting to win is. That was a quote by Vince Lombardi. He won five championships for his team. And the Melbourne Cup history, for those of you who don't know, I think it was 1961, or 1861 was the first time that was held, and it's over like 3,200 metres. It's quite a long race, and the horses have to be really fit to be able to race them. And there's any number of horses, and you can pop in you know, a sweepstakes for work. I think I supported Lions Club locally. They were running a sweepstakes of, you know, you'd buy a $2 sweepstakes and open that and win. So I think they've got $1,000. So anybody that wants any tickets in the Lions Club locally, they've still got that running, I believe. I guess one of the most famous winners of the Melbourne Cup was Phar Lap. Like, it was an incredible horse, 1930. And just the magnificence of that horse and just looking at it. And there's been other ones that have come since, and certainly Maccabee Diva and just a few other horses that just make it look so easy, and the jockeys make it look so easy. I do know one particular jockey, big shout out to you, Grant and Chantel, who does the reporting on the Sky News and the Sky horse racing, and they do an amazing job, and big shout out to you both. And in the Hawkesbury, we've got a lot of equestrian properties, and we've got one in particular that we manage, and it's beautiful 25-acre property. It's got all of the equipment at the stables. I think there's 19 stables. There's a horse walker. There's all sorts of things that they have on the facilities. And Malcolm Johnson actually used to work this particular property. So, and they trained those horses back in the 80s, I think it was, 80s and 90s. But Gemma's saying she normally goes by the horse name, and that resonates with me. It's interesting, isn't it, how you pick your horses and the horse numbers, and whether it's colours or the number of the horse or whatever it may be. And I was thinking about, as a jockey, what do you need to do to be able to, be really good at what you are? And first of all, you've got to be able to ride a horse, which is really important. Your physical fitness needs to be exceptional. I think they're running at about 45, 55 kilos. So, I know that I've heard jockeys talk about the saunas and the sweat rooms and how much they have to reduce their weight to actually get in the, not the ring, as it were, for the canines. I'm thinking about canines, but Leslie's saying short and thin. Absolutely. You have to be short, you have to be thin to be able to get on the horses and get up early in the mornings. They're up at the crack of dawn, even way before, hours before that, to get to the race course. You've got to do education and training and apprenticeship. And there's a lot of, I guess it's who knows who and who and possibly helping out as much as you possibly can to get in there and do that. But the other part of that is it's a team effort. It's kind of like everything in life. It's a team effort, isn't it? So with horse racing, you not only need the jockey, but you also need the right horse. And that right horse has got to be trained, whether it's each day, whether it's a certain, way in which they train during the week. There's advanced techniques that they might be utilising. I remember when I had our horse, I shared it with my brother and my sister. It was a team effort, You'd muck out the stables, you'd take the horse for a walk, you'd go for a ride, you'd, prepare the saddle, you'd have to leather the saddle. Always at the end of the day, you people forgive me, and I appreciate that. But yeah, it was a big effort to, you'd be rugging the horses. During summertime, you'd have the fly guards on because you didn't want any flies around their eyes. When there were storms, the horses didn't like the storm. So many different things that they've got. Hey, Shelley. Hi, Cheryl. And nice to have everybody joining me tonight. The mental conditioning of the horse, just everything. It's a team effort. And the track conditions need to be right. The people putting the event on need to advertise it appropriately and get the right people there. I mean, Melbourne is a buzz with activity when the Melbourne Cup is on. And sometimes the saying a dark horse, originating from the unpredictability of the horse as to whether it's going to get up in the race or not. So, it's an idiom that people have used over the years, but I think it's a good one. And it's one that, has the potential to be used in life, whether it's with politics, with Trump or Harris. Who's going to be the dark horse? Who do you think is the dark horse in that race? Who's the dark horse in your life? And who's the dark horse that, you may have written off for the racing or competition? Like, I think the greatest races are not measured by the race itself. Sometimes it's the race before the actual race, Gemma's saying food on your mind. Yes, always food on my mind. And imagine the race course as, your life, as new challenges, new opportunities that are, there and appearing at every turn. Because, one turn with 3 horses on that turn, which horse is going to like the turn easier than the other? Is the track a lot softer or harder? Has it been raining or hasn't it been raining? And in life, the same thing, has it been raining in your life, or has it been sunshine and rainbows? I mean, we all go through it one way or the other. And sometimes through that storm is the only way. Sometimes you need to to feel the rain on your face, to have the smile at the end with the rainbow that you can see in the distance. And I guess the way I look at it too is that the greatest race isn't always about reaching the finish line or winning that particular race. It's just continually adapting and learning and being and doing and just showing up each and every day as the best you possibly can. And even if the best you possibly can is just getting out of bed and making your bed. I remember an admiral, he did a speech once, and that's what he spoke about. You know, if you just get up and make your bed first, and then that's the start of it. It's a routine, it's a system. Then you go into the next phase, whatever it might be. Gemma's saying there's definitely been a few storms in my family over the last few years. And I don't think that you're alone, Gemma. I think there's a lot of people that have storms over the years. And I think the thing is that you acknowledge those storms, you ride through those storms together, and you acknowledge that there's going to be light at the end of that tunnel, and see what that is together and see what the opportunities is. So whether you're on that racetrack with the horse and you've got the 3 horses beside you, or whether you're riding the life, riding the race of your life. And the greatest race may be just getting up out of bed, as I said. The greatest race may be helping your colleagues and, just helping them, support them, be there for them, even as simple as reducing gossip in the workplace. Like, we've got an open office and none of us gossip about either one. We are just so supportive. It's a really caring environment. We all have a laugh and we joke together. We do the big rocks work together. We turn into that corner of the race together. We turn into that corner of that obstacle. We turn into that corner of that track, whatever it may be each day. And, Gemma's saying always here for the A team. And that's what it is. We consider ourselves the A team, and whether we are or not, it doesn't matter. We believe it as a team and we work towards that as a team. So whether that's with you and your family, or whether that's with you and your friends, or whether that's with you and your colleagues at work, it may be your pets that you're trying to get around that racetrack together. They might be a bit naughty from time to time. I don't know whether Brucey's flat out. He's just going to be sleeping tonight. He's not looking at that. Hayley's saying, love A team. Absolutely. Slay queen, as Hayley would say. I don't even know what that means, but I just said that as though I know what I'm talking about. Hi, Megan. Nice to have you on the line. Thanks for joining us. And the greatest race that you may be running is in your life, I believe. And if you've got that support around you, it's a fantastic thing. Like, Megan's a really good personal trainer, or was over the years, and I'm not too sure what she's doing now. But just if you're getting that little bit of exercise each and every day, more than the day before, but just heading towards that goal, she would probably be able to speak to that more than I would. The greatest race could be saying, I'm curious about life. I'm curious about embracing change, and I'm curious about what that next step in life is going to be. Supporting my family and friends, whatever that looks like along the journey. Some days are good days, some days are, what is that Neil Diamond song? Some days are rainbows and some days are diamonds, and some days, I don't know. Anyway, somebody can pop in the comments. I reckon Kath would be able to answer that one. But just in the race of life, step forward into the victory, whether it's a win or whether it's making your bed first thing in the morning. It doesn't matter. Every obstacle that you go through, every obstacle that you overcome, every obstacle that you jump over that fence is a victory. And even though it might be a small victory, like making your bed, you become stronger and wiser for having had that experience or that obstacle that you've overcome. And Jim is saying Sweet Caroline. I know, and that's for Chloe Dogs. Chloe loves that song, but I'm going to stay on topic because it's a really important point. So in the race of life, every step forward is a victory. Every obstacle is a chance to grow stronger and wiser together. And just like in life, the way I see it, whether you win or not, sometimes you need to lose the battle to win the war. And what I mean by that is sometimes in life sometimes you need to walk away from a situation to see the bigger picture and win the circumstance for yourself or for somebody else. And they might not even know it themselves. Sometimes it's just the small daily wins. The wins are the races in our lives. There we go. Drew Marshall. Thanks, Drew. It's a John Denver song. Some Days Are Diamonds. Absolutely. That's what it was. Yes, it was dancing around in my head. I love that song. And then Andrew saying, some days are diamonds, some days are stone. All right. Thank you. Thank you. Good team effort. A team yet again. Well done, guys. We got there in the end. Certainly not without the support of you guys. So thank you for that. And that's so true, isn't it? Some days are diamonds and some days are stones. And if we look at those stones as things that we can overcome, those obstacles on the track, those obstacles in life that we can, if we don't know the answer to something, reach out to your friends like I did just now, and Drew and Ange have just jumped up to the challenge and straight in there and helped out, and like Gemma and Hayley and Ash and Warren and Des and everybody that I speak to during the week and everybody that jumps on this live. I can't name each and every one of you, but I so appreciate you turning up and riding that track with us all and riding the obstacles as they are each week. And, you know, it's really important to know that you've got that tribe with you, those people that support you, the friends that you can call on each and every day and ask questions that you may not know the answers to, but you're vulnerable enough to put your hand up and go, you know what, I don't know the answer to that question, but I need some help here. Do you think you can help me out? And it comes to you. And whether it's some form of faith or whether you believe in God or the universe, and even if you're asking for support and help in some way, it's always a positive message that comes back. I always find that I find feathers. If I'm on the right track, I find feathers, or they come through in animals. Like, for example, at the moment, I've got a water dragon that sits at the front of my door in a particular spot, and it's a little girl. And I know that because of the different features of the water dragon. But there's also a baby water dragon in the backyard. So they must feel very safe, but I also feel very loved and protected by having them around. I know that sounds a bit crazy, but I'm okay with being crazy if you've got people like Ange and Drew and everybody else that joins me each week going through this together and working things through together. And Dexter, absolutely Dexter. Dexter, the water dragon, he's the boy. So we've got a whole family of water dragons. So with that being said, I say, remember, winning isn't about, well, winning isn't everything, I guess, is what I'm trying to say. And wanting to win is. Because if you get up in the morning, make your bed, do all the things that you need to do, not necessarily in brain miles, but just have a little bit of a routine. And if all you've got is making your bed, that's fine. Go with making your bed. If you've got something that, I've got another friend who is doing exercise. All she's doing is standing up out of her lounge chair and standing, and then sitting down, and then walking a couple of steps around the lounge room. She's got a medical condition and she's just doing amazing things. So big shout out to you. You know who you are. And it's those small wins that we can all do together and encourage one another, not gossip about one another, talk, candidly together and talk through those obstacles, through those race courses of life that we might be experiencing together. And sometimes the miracle isn't that you won or finished the race. Sometimes the miracle is just that you had the courage to start the race. And if that race of life is that you all join on it together and you take the best number or your favourite number, your favourite colour or whatever it is, and just got a bunch of great people, and whether it's 21 horses or 24 horses that run that race, or whether it's 1, 2, 3, because usually you can count on your hand 5 really close friends that is your rock, that helps you find those diamonds or the stone, or get through the diamonds and the stones. So I'm just going to grab a glass of water. I talk too much during the day. There we go. Jim is saying it's important to celebrate the small wins. Completely agree. Pardon me. Les is saying it's only when we walk away do we actually see the picture. Absolutely. Like last week when I said give people enough time and they'll reveal themselves, because often it was there in front of us all the way along and we didn't even realise it. But the longer you spend with people, the more that you see who they really are. And sometimes those people that support you are the best ones to hang around. You've got your tribe, you've got your people, you've got your 5 people in your life that you can, that's your ride and die people. You can take them on that race course any day of the week, and you know that they're going to help saddle up. They're going to get you in the right gear. They're going to have the right horse for you. They're going to have the right track day for you. They're going to get the best outcome for you. And they want you to win. They don't want you not to win. And that's the thing. That's the difference between having a great bunch of people behind you and, you know, people that may want to be there, but they're more transactional, or they're more people that what's in it for them, or more people that are not there for you. They're there for what they can get out of it. So with that being said, remember, winning isn't everything, but wanting to win is. So I hope, Drew's saying 24 horses. Thank you, Drew. Yes, I knew it was one or the other, but I couldn't quite remember. Gemma's saying ride or die. Absolutely. Find your ride or die. I know who my ride or die is, and each and every week I get to speak to them, to spend time with them, especially my mum and dad. I really appreciate what you do for me, and I'm so grateful to have you in my life, and everything that they do, as well as my other ride and dies in my life, which is fantastic. With that being said, let's go out, win your live, love, big life, whatever that may look like for you, whatever race that you're partaking in, and don't forget to own your story and be proud of it, whatever that looks like for you. And I hope you win your race, and if you don't win, winning's not everything. Just going on the track together can be just as much fun. Have a great night, everybody. Good week ahead. Trump or Harris, who knows? Let's wait and see. We'll catch up with you on the next video, everybody. Thanks for all your comments. Thanks for your support. Thank you for answering the questions that I couldn't answer, people. And I look forward to possibly catching up with you during the week. Bye for now. Have a good night.